Hi, welcome to Module 3, where we are looking at audiences and ads manager. Sort of just a quick peek, because again, this is a necessary piece of paid social, but it is not the robust audience building or ad campaign course that follow this one. So we head into audiences from where we just looked at inside of Business Suite, Tools, Audiences, and we can really build these from scratch or add on to what we've got. The three types of audiences that we can create are called saved, lookalike, and custom. There's also special ad audiences if you're advertising in real estate or politics or some other housing category. But for the most part, most of us won't fall into those categories. And if you do, it's no problem. What happens is you go into special ad audience like real estate. I just created some real estate ads last week, and you declare that yes, this is a housing ad, and you're just able to specify a little bit less of the targeting that you normally would be able to. I don't know that I believe that it's actually really helpful, but either way, this is what they've done. They've declared that these are the categories, again, politics, housing, education, that you cannot determine or target based on gender, age, certain interests and behaviors, because that's bias or it's just disclusionary, I suppose. And they want to make it a fair playing field. So fine. But for most of us, again, we can still utilize a whole lot of targeting and filtering within our audiences. So the first one, type 1, saved, aka cold in social school language. This is your top of funnel, broad, spray across the land because I have to type audience. I need to make this as generic and open as possible because I need a lot of candidates to jump into the top of my funnel so that I can further filter and segment them from there when they move down the funnel or through the journey and become warm and then hot. So what do we have to work with here? Well, pretty broad things like geographics, demographics, and a few psychographic factors. But we're talking about location for sure. We're talking age, gender, and then interests and behaviors. And this is where we have to be pretty strategic in advance. You don't want to just throw every interest at the wall because then your audience will be massive. And you want it to be probably about 10% of the population that is in that targeted area. So if I'm targeting a city of 1 million people, we like to say that a good size cold or saved audience is 100,000. And I'm not just going to have one audience of 100,000 people for that particular ad or boosted post. I'm going to have a few of that size, but they're not going to overlap too much. They're not going to cannibalize and compete with each other. I'm going to cycle through them at different times. And again, they're big and broad. It's like running 4 billboards across the city and trying them out. They each have a slightly different message, or they're each reaching a slightly different demographic. Makes sense. So within this, we need to think about what those detailed factors will be in the interest category in particular. Once you start going through this and you play with the drop downs, you're going to get lots of ideas. Targeting people based on the things they do, read, visit, engage with, some of the pages that they like. If it's a big enough page, I can target fans of Kim Kardashian or HGTV or Tony Robbins, Oprah. But otherwise, I have to get smarter and really think about, and this is again, audience mapping and audience building 101, who are they? What are their pain points? What do they wish? What do they desire? What do they fear? And what are they following and searching that I can appear in when they're watching that show or following those accounts or reading that LinkedIn feed and there I am with my hair ad. So who are they? And knowing them is really important, even if we're at this top of funnel stabbing in the dark stage. So there's our saved audience. The next one we move to is called custom. And we bounce down to the hot third bottom of funnel custom audiences because we have to go back and build the warms based off of the hots. So Facebook calls it custom, we call it hot, and this is where we choose a source. And that source is going to either be our website pixel, if we have one. So the traffic that's been on our website that has been making our pixel fire every time they click on there or land on our site, that information, so their IP address, gets sent back to Facebook, and I'm building this dynamic, beautiful, powerful, custom audience of people that were on my website last week, or people that visited this page but not checkout page, or people that visited 365 days ago but haven't been back since. etc. So we can really get specific, and that's why that custom audience and pixel traffic audience in particular is the most powerful we can use. From there though, if I don't have a pixel firing, or I can't put it on my website for whatever reason, or maybe just because I want a few other sources, I can also create some really neat ones here that are based on who engaged with my content. So my source in fact is video, and I'm going to say anyone who watched any of my Instagram videos within the last 6 months for more than 9 seconds and, lives in California. Great. Now I've got another type of hot-ish audience that is going to be served up to people that already know me and have probably engaged with me and maybe even bought from me before. So really good stuff there, and we can get quite creative with it. You can see the two examples here. The one on the left is where I have a website-based pixel tracking audience, and I'm going to include people who have been on a specific page of my website within the last 90 days, and that page was /shop. So it's including that URL parameter, but I'm excluding anyone who was on my website, again, in the last 90 days, but visited /thank you, because my thank you page is my redirect after they check out. I've built that purposely. That is 100% meant to exclude audiences that have already bought, so I'm not wasting my money by retargeting those same people when they've already purchased the thing I'm trying to sell. The second one, the custom audience that's based on, again, some kind of source of content. So an engagement with my Instagram account, my videos, my lead form, my shopping cart, or my catalog of Facebook products. And then I can really segment or choose accordingly what I want from there. So everyone who engaged with my Instagram account, or people who sent me a message or engaged with my ad, so many opportunities here that we can utilize in the custom front. Then finally, we bounce back to that middle type. So lookalike is what Facebook calls them. We call them warm or middle of funnel. And now I get to go in, and this one takes no time at all, because I simply say, build a lookalike audience from X source. So from my website source or from my engagement audience. But this time, instead of living in Winnipeg, I want them to live in Regina. So Facebook says, great, we have that information. We can build you a lookalike audience to these hot buyers over here in Winnipeg. They're not quite as hot because we're kind of guessing, but they have similar behaviors, interests, geographic factors or demographic factors as that Winnipeg audience. They just happen to live in Regina, your new market. So now you've got a lookalike audience. It's pretty powerful, and it can turn into a hot audience pretty easily too. So once we've got our audiences built, and we're going to look at that again towards the end of the course with an exercise, don't you worry, we want to head into Ads Manager. And this is where we're going to take a quick peek at it first right now and just see how the ad campaigns are built within Ads Manager and where we want to graduate to after we have mastered the art of promoted content or boosted posts. So I can get to Ads Manager right from that, again, that black screen or my main menu within Business Suite. And I can see sort of all the ad campaigns I've ever run, or just in the last month or whatever it is. And I can start to learn the hierarchy of ads as well, which we'll look at again at the end of this course. So I go from campaigns to ad sets to ads. And this is a really, really awesome way to kind of hierarchically build your ads and manage them with kind of additional assets as you're ready to add them on or turn them off, etc. So what's so great about Ads Manager? Well, we can create brand new ads all the time. We can select the campaign parameters and objectives to fit our goals, and then manage the creative like crazy. Upload new photos, new videos, change the copy, update the headline, see how they look on various devices and various placements if we want them to appear everywhere, or just Facebook Messenger. We can choose our audience, as we've said, and we can cycle through audiences, which is what is such a powerful way to do it, so that we're not, again, creating audience or ad fatigue with the same audience targeted all the time, and we can work backwards from knowing what ad and what post is going to be targeting what audience. So we're thinking of them, who the target is, before we go build that ad. And most of us don't think that way at all. And then, of course, we can adjust and add or iterate those audiences as we see fit once that campaign is running. We can manage our budgets like crazy. We've got full control over a daily spend, a campaign spend, a max spend, everything that we want to see and feel to do with the spend and the money that is going into this is at our fingertips and ours to control. And we can day part our campaigns to only have them run certain times or certain days. And again, get as high a return as we possibly can. The ability to run ads across multiple places, platforms, and apps is really unique. And this is because Facebook owns so many things. And so it's creating this environment which is full of opportunity, as we've talked about, not just for placements, but to utilize certain features. I really want to, boost that IGTV in my newsfeed, or I want to put some money behind, again, a direct or a Facebook Messenger campaign instead of just my newsfeed on Facebook. So really cool and fun to A/B test, because you will see that different results are garnered in different places. Speaking of A/B testing, this is something that I can't say enough. Once in a while, we'll feel really strongly that video ads are the end all be all, and they're just killing it for us and converting like crazy. And then lo and behold, the very next quarter, or maybe it's during Christmas season or high competition, suddenly our carousel ads are unbelievably successful, or just the story ads or a certain type of story ad. So it's worth having the time and putting the energy towards testing and iterating and just generating your own types of, understandings of what's happening. And oftentimes the only person that can explain those results is you. That's that anecdotal, well, I saw this change when this happened, or, around this season, we always notice that our link-based posts do better than our live video ads, etc. So it depends on competition, seasonality, content type, and it's worth constantly iterating and testing. We want to improve our performance with dynamic creative, and Ads Manager allows us to do this. So I can upload, 10 different pieces of photography to my ad, and I can say, sure, Facebook, you have at it. You optimize this for whatever's performing the best, and it'll say, great. Let me do that for you. I'm going to serve up different ads to different people with this image in the first section or this image being the lead image, and then we'll see which one's doing the best, and we'll run with that more often. Ditto for multiple headline types or multiple call to action types. You can import a few different options for Facebook to utilize, and it will cycle through them and try and get you the best results possible. And it actually works. It's very, very cool. So that hierarchy we mentioned that's important to understand and then utilize, of course, is this. It starts with the campaign level, and all we have to do here pretty much is declare our objective. And this could be reach and awareness. It could be something more bottom of funnel like traffic or conversions. It could be middle of funnel like engagement or desire, interest, lead generation. And then from there, Facebook will build or optimize the campaign around that goal or objective that you're telling it you have. Next, we get bumped right into the ad set level. And this is where we declare our audience that we want to use, that we've pre-built in Audience Manager. We declare the placements, so where this ad is going to appear, anywhere and everywhere, or just one spot. The budget, the schedule, duration, max spends, all of those little features within the ad set. And then finally, the actual ad itself. So this is where the images and video and text, that art, is going to appear. And maybe the dynamic creative that we've uploaded that we're going to let Facebook trial and error with different pieces on the same ad. And of course, then we'll start to see the results here as well. So what it looks like when we're in Ads Manager, especially if we have a bit more detail, is that on the left. Or if we're in Ads Manager, as I showed you, when we're seeing our overall dashboard, we're going to see it sort of in a long linear way. And we can filter and see just our ads or just our campaigns, just a certain time frame, etc. Okay. I hope that was a helpful overview of Business Suite, and that includes both of our setup and then the audiences and Ads Manager pieces that are necessary if we want to fully leverage our boosted posts. And I will see you in the next section, which is Boosted Content 101, where we'll get right back into best practices and killer ways to boost our posts in Facebook, Instagram, and then the secondary platforms from there.